They've conceded 10 goals in 4 games, and they scored 3, which is a shock. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Football Kaki. I am your host Elder and I am joined by the missing fellow Kaki bro who don't know how long hasn't been around. Technically he was away for 2 weeks. But he is back, Mr. Paul E. How are you doing, bro?
I'm jet lagged. But I'm okay.
Wait, when do you land?
I landed like Sunday evening.
Wait, so you watched the game when you were the menu game when you were jet lagged, or you watched it on the plane?
No, I landed in evening. Then I reached home dinner time.
Okay.
So basically, my body was in like European afternoon timing at like 9 p.m. You know, so I couldn't fall asleep until like 2+3.
That's normal.
Yeah, so I watched like the Man Utd game and the Arsenal and Chelsea game.
Okay, but you didn't have to work. You didn't have to work today, right?
I on reservist.
Okay.
I went to camp, right? By 10 a.m. I like gone already, sir.
You told already.
I like man mode already. Yeah.
Okay, just for context, right? Paul was away because he went on holiday to Germany. Bro, just want to check with you, right? Which part of Germany do you go?
I landed in Munich. Then
Okay.
we went straight to Austria first.
Oh, you didn't? You went to Austria before, then you came back to Germany.
Yeah, so we did like if you see a map, right? We went to Munich. We went to Austria for like 3 to 5 days. Then we slowly go back up to Dresden, and then so in Dresden we did a few day trips lah, like Berlin, went in Giroud, then we went back to Frankfurt. Then came back.
But Austria, did you go Vienna?
No, we didn't go. I went to Salzburg.
Hey, how is it?
Bro, like I think honestly one of the most like beautiful cities I've seen lah. But because I never been to a lot of cities lah. But to me, I think it's like quite beautiful. The Hallstatt, Austria. I went to this Hallstatt castle. So it's like this castle where apparently Frozen took the idea from.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So when you see it in real life, like actually, like it's really you're quite amazed by it lah. Because at the back, behind this castle is like all the mountains, you know. Yeah, so a lot of very naturistic and natural scenery lah. That's all I can see.
Is it like okay? So if you were to go there, then compared to Germany, how is it different? Like when you go to Salzburg compared to Germany?
Okay, so Germany, right? There's a lot of history in Germany.
Yep.
So if the main places I'm talking about is like Berlin. Like I enjoyed my time in Berlin a lot, but then in Munich it was very nice also. There's a lot of history, and I went to the Allianz Arena.
Hey, how is it?
Actually, different, bro. It's a different kind of stadium compared to like Singapore. You know, the first thing you can tell, right, is like there's no track around the field. Yeah. So you're closer to the pitch.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like the natural weather also is like below 10 degrees, right? So imagine you're watching a football game in like natural aircon. Even colder than aircon also. And then their mega store is so big. They have like the museum there, which is like you can spend like almost half a day there. It's like literally what you see on TV, right? It's like that times 2, times 3. The vastness of it.
Do you take a stadium tour or anything like that?
We bought the arena tour ticket, so we could go walk around the stands or this. Yeah. But we missed out on the locker room tour and like the tunnel tour, you know, all this.
It's a separate ticket, is it? For that one?
I searched the tickets the day before. It was available. But me and my girlfriend, we couldn't really commit because we didn't know what time we will reach Munich. Because we were coming from Austria to Munich ma. So the ticket says 3 o'clock, the local room tour. Like the 3 o'clock start lah. So we thought it was too close to call because we reached Munich like around 1:30. Then we still had to drop our bags. Then we're not sure we can make it to the stadium on time.
So what time did you actually reach the stadium?
2:45.
You could have done it lah.
I could have done it, yeah. Then I could see the stadium. You know the iconic picture where Ronaldo and Benzema stood in the Bayern Munich stadium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one we could have seen there. They actually allow like fans to walk up or like to actually walk out the tunnel, you know. Yeah. Then they play the Champions League music, Yeah. So actually it's still quite cool lah. We managed to, you know, the logo, the stands with the Bayern Munich logo. Yeah. Yeah, we were sitting there. Then we managed to like enjoy the atmosphere for a bit lah. All in all, it's a very cool experience. I bought a few merchandise from there. I bought a small Bayern Munich ball.
Hey, that's like the old school like Adidas ball.
Yeah. So this was like €9. And then I bought a Bayern Munich this is a candy. I bought it just for the case, to be honest, to put my coins for like €2.
Wait, is the candy nice?
I haven't opened it, so it's like I'll let you know when I open it. Yeah.
You let us know. But I mean, I saw you send some. I saw you some of the post of the photos. I was like, well, that's not bad.
But all in all, very cool experience. And we missed the next day because I could have bought the tickets to watch the Bayern Munich versus Union Berlin. But we had to go to Dresden. So things did not align.
No, it's very funny, right? Because I remember when you texted me, they said, "Hey, bro, I go Allianz, right?" Then the first thing I asked you was not about the tour. I said, "Are you watching the game?" That's the first question I asked you.
Yeah. Then apparently, like a few days later, they had the Champions League game.
You didn't go.
Yeah, we were in Frankfurt already by then.
Yeah, but like sooner or later, one of us has to watch the European games. Yeah, like I realized, like me that we haven't done. Jordan also, we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I think it will be really an eye opener, and it's definitely doable one, bro. It's like we could do like a UK EPL or like EPL / Champions League, like holiday, that kind of thing. It's doable. No issue one. To be honest,
I think one day.
One day
at a time, right? Yeah. But we are a football podcast based in Singapore. So this week, we have got a lot of interesting things to talk about because essentially, right, there's a lot of shocks. As you can see from our title of the episode, right, City lose 4 in a row. City lose to Brighton 2-1. Then, of course, you've got Chelsea versus Arsenal. Essentially, what I said last week in the episode when I was all by myself, literally, when it's basically that if this were to be a point where Arsenal drop points, they could fall as far back as 10 points behind Liverpool, which essentially, right, because they drew, they fell 9 points behind and they have dropped to 4.
Like 3 games, right?
It's still 3 games. It's no matter what I say, it's a big ask of anybody to drop 3 points in the Premier League. To drop 3, right? Even if, let's say, for example, of the 4 games, City lost 2 in the league. They lost 1 the AFL, they lost 1 the Champions League. So it's like, if they lose 1 more, maybe can, but Liverpool is playing well. I'm actually quite shocked that of the certain outcomes that are facing Chelsea. No, they're facing Arsenal and City. Then, of course, you've got Man United beating Leicester 3-0, which concludes Ruud Van Nistelrooy's final game as interim manager because Reuben Amorin will be officially coming in this week. So, bro, you ready to get into this?
Let's go, brother.
Okay, so to begin our episode, bro, we always have our what's going on. You've not been here for a while, so Paul, what is going on in the world of football?
Yeah, when I was in Germany, I've always observed the live score app, right? So I've been noticing like certain things. I will look at the different leagues, the table.
Yeah.
So this week, when I came back, I pressed the Serie A table, right?
Yeah.
Now what's going on is like, do you see who's like the top 4, top 5, top 6?
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, so the top is like Napoli, Atalanta, Fiorentina, Inter, Lazio, and then Juventus and Milan.
Yeah.
So like the gap from Napoli to Milan is like 8 points. And it's like, what's going on?
You know what's more about what's going on for me? I was like, the gap between Napoli and Juventus, from 1st to 6th, is 2.
Yeah. So like 2 points separate the top 6.
So for everybody, to give everybody context, this is how the table looks like. Napoli's first with 26 points. Atalanta, Fiorentina, Inter, and Lazio all have 25, and Juventus got 24.
And I can say, right, there are the 2 ex-Man United players are lighting up the Serie A. McTominay and David De Gea, right? And De Gea had an assist in the previous game, do you know that?
Yeah, dude. So is it the question, right? It was Ten Hag all along, right?
I think it's no. I think it's a mixture of both. I think Ten Hag is one, and I feel that the pace of Serie A benefits EPL players a lot. Yeah. For McTominay to become like the Steven Gerrard of
Napoli.
Serie A, or like Serie A, right? I think it's quite insane,
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay. Honestly, you must look at also. I think it's the large factor is Antonio Conte. Like he won, I think like Serie A a few times with like 2 different teams already.
He won with Inter, and I think he won Juve and won Inter.
Yeah,
correct.
And then now he's like charging them on with Napoli,
Yeah, correct. And Napoli recently they have their resurgence in Serie A where they won the league. I think a few years ago. Yeah. With when Osimhen was like still key component. But I think like I'm glad that there's a league where it's not dominated by the top guys anymore already. I remember that period where Juve was just dominating like Serie A.
Yes. And then Milan was like falling off hard, right?
Yeah, dude. Then suddenly out of nowhere, right, Inter won, Napoli won. Then now you've got like Fiorentina, Lazio all coming in, right? Like it makes the league more interesting. Like even though honestly I'm not a huge fan of Italian football because I find it a bit slow.
I just feel that like now the ones that's falling off is Roma.
Yeah.
Roma is falling off bad, bro. Yeah,
Roma's like 12.
Like the bottom.
They said the manager already.
Yeah, see, previously when Mourinho, they still had like
Hope.
not a bad shot, right? Yeah,
Yep.
you know. And then like to answer your question, right? Like now that you see this Italian league being so competitive, right? Then is it truly a farmers league?
It's not.
It's not, right?
It's not.
It's like then what will you say that is? What will you classify a farmers league?
Farmers League is
Where only two teams compete.
Yes.
So can you say like essentially EPL is a farmers league in the past like 10 years? That's right.
Yes, I can say that.
Right, yeah, I do. I think so. Like even Bundesliga is definitely a farmers league.
Bundesliga is a farmers league. Bundesliga is a farmers league. La Liga is a farmers league.
League One is a farmers league.
League One is 100% a farmers league. I think that with the City, I think the problem with the EPL, just to close off, right, is that they are not as competitive as it used to be because the quality of City just elevated everything. But if you were to put it in a context like whereby like if you were to remove City from the equation, right, you follow the rest down, right, it's actually still quite competitive. It's just that City's been so light years ahead of everybody, right, that it's just not fair.
Like removing Max Verstappen, yeah.
Correct. It's like basically in F1 you remove Max and everything. But this year is what we wanted because Max is not dominating anymore already with F1. So like I'm glad to see that like in the EPL, right, it's getting better. But I won't say it's gonna be great.
Right.
It's not as competitive as like the late 2000s to early 2010s. Like.
Yeah. No, I would say like the EPL is still competitive. But competing for the league, right, then it becomes a farmers league. There's only like 2 teams per year that will compete for the league.
Correct.
Right?
So, but this year, I think with the context that it's facing, right, like it might depend on because City is not playing well, so.
Yeah, but if it's like Liverpool running away with it, then it's still like one team, means one horse race.
Correct lah. But then again, right, in that context, right, you could say that we were farmers league when United was playing with Chelsea.
I think definitely farmers league. Okay lah, but yeah, usually most of our what you call it, our title wins is only 2 teams, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
At most 3, right?
At most 3. Usually most 2. But the thing is that it was never the same team. I think maybe to put farmers league in more context, is like the same team winning continuously for that long.
Like maybe like a space of 10 years, right?
Yeah, maybe a space of 10 years. Whereas like in like the EPL, right, you always have 1 win, 1 lose, 1 win, 1 lose, right? Then City won 4 in a row.
No, it was like City, Liverpool, then City, the 4 in a row, right? Yeah.
Correct. So, yeah. So, I think that's it for what's going on, right?
Yes. I hope to see more of this competitiveness in this period. Make it exciting, so people can tune in, you know.
Yeah, we will see the table in May. Alright, so the first game that we're going to talk about is, of course, Manchester City losing to Brighton away 2-1. Our shock.
Yeah, considering that they took the lead, right?
Yeah, they took the lead very early, dude.
Yeah,
like super early.
Yeah, like what's his name? The Van Bruggen, the keeper.
Hey, he played well. Van Bruggen played well. He played well.
There's something about City that didn't seem so clinical after the Haaland's goal, you know. They keep wasting chances and I think like the second half they like completely went shambolic, yeah.
No, it's weird because like the first half, right, City dominated Brighton. Like legit. Like the only reason why it was only 1-0 was because Van Bruggen, like he made some really very good saves. The only thing was that in the second half, right, I don't know what happened. Brighton became more on the front foot than City were, which was like the total flip.
Maybe the manager like hair dryer them.
Might be lah, because okay, Brighton, I feel like they're known to beat some of the big things, but they're not known to be giant killer. You get what I mean?
I say like they've established themselves as like a top 8 team, that kind.
Yes.
No issue. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they are not necessarily like the team that would be like, oh, they can definitely beat Chelsea or City or Arsenal regularly. They're like, okay, I'm just teetering at the bottom. I'm just safe below. I can beat maybe like a Man United, I can beat Spurs, but you're talking about the top few, it's like it might be a bit harder. So when they lost, I was actually quite shocked. Like legit. And to be frank, if it wasn't for Ederson, I think like Brighton would have scored 2 more goals early on in the second half. Like I think it was the header, right? One of the header, then an open chance, right?
Ederson.
After that, the João Pedro effect, he scores. And then he
scored like those recess time goal, that kind of goal.
Yeah, right? Dude. No, the worst part is that it's very messy. It's like not something you expect from City.
Like kampong football, right?
Yeah, it's like bounce, rebound, drop, turn, goal.
Scramble
right place, right
and
time.
Score. Yeah, scramble and score, that kind.
Correct. Then after that, 5 minutes later, he assists Matt O'Reilly, right, for essentially what became the winner lah. So like, bro, in the space of literally 5 minutes, it just swapped.
Yeah, it's like, how can they go from 0 to 0 in like so quick, right?
Like very fast. It's like 5 minutes.
Like flip of like a few minutes, and then from in a winning position to a losing position.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's like I don't really understand why, but everyone seems to say it's because of the absence of Rodri lah.
But Rodri was already absent before that for a long time already. What?
Yeah, so I'm guessing they are really feeling the full effects of it. Kovacic has shown that he's like clearly not good enough to play. Yeah, not good enough to play in like that role. And then on top of that, you have like Matheus Nunes playing. So you have like your two, I would say arguably your weakest midfielders playing. I mean, yes, you have Bernardo Silva and Gundogan, but Bernardo Silva is playing more on the right, and then Gundogan can't do everything by himself.
Correct. And like my question, and the thing that shocks me is that in the past 4 games, so you're talking about Bournemouth, Spurs, Bournemouth, Sporting, and then Brighton. Right, this game, they've conceded 10 goals in 4 games, and they scored 3, which is a shock. Are they losing focus?
I mean, every team seems to be complaining that there's too many games, but I don't think that should be an issue because out of all the teams, I think Man City's depth is the best,
the strongest, right?
Yeah, the strongest. And also, you have to look at certain aspects. Like I told you that day, right? Do you see his starting centre backs?
Yeah.
He's playing like some random youngster and Kyle Walker at centre back against Brighton. When you have Akanji and Ake on the bench.
On the bench, right?
Yeah, because yes, okay, Ruben Diaz is injured, but then you can easily play Gvardiol at centre back, Gvardiol and maybe Ake or something. Like that. Yeah, no issue about that. Yeah, why are you not playing your strongest defense against like Brighton away from home?
Which brings me to my last question, right? Do you think Pep is like being too clever?
Yes, I do feel that
over-analyzing.
At times he tries to be a bit too clever. Then he underestimates the opponent a bit. Like sometimes he is a genius lah. Like he will get away with it most of the time lah. It's just that maybe this time clearly get caught out.
No, but and it's weird because like the results in the past 3 games so let's say for example Spurs one, we put it one side, right? They got, I feel like against Bournemouth, like I said last week, they got dominated. Like Bournemouth could have easily won 4-0, very easily 4-0. The Sporting game, I feel like it was they really gonna whack.
Yeah.
Like
they get outplayed in terms of, even though it's like just counter attack goals, but you cannot accept that you get outplayed, right?
I think the second goal was literally just pass, then go. The Sporting one. Then it's 4-1. Then, okay, considering the fact it's maybe 2 penalties, but still Sporting played better than the City. Regardless of whether Amorin is coming to Man Utd, right? That day Sporting was better. It's just plain and simple. Then this game was like a game of 2 halves. It's like 45 minutes good, 45 minutes horrible. So it's like, I don't know whether is it they are not focusing or there's just something that is wrong. Because
I think they're just going through a rough patch. I think you can see also Arsenal is going, we talk about Arsenal later, but they also like the past 2 months also going through this rough patch. So I do feel that the only team that's not going through a rough patch is like maybe Liverpool.
Yeah.
But the rest of the teams, you can tell, maybe a bit effects of injuries, too many games.
Yeah.
The schedule being too tight, So I don't really know lah. But then, speaking of international, there's another one coming. So I don't really understand why there's so many international games. I don't think City will get worse from this lah. I think they will pick themselves up.
I hope so. But the thing is that the more damage this does to them, right? Because their next 2 games are not going to be easy lah. The more damage this does to them, right? The more problems they're going to face because Liverpool's just going to run away. And their game with Liverpool is coming soon. Like it's very close. If let's say this pushes City further back, and they don't solve this problem that they're having, right? Like I don't know how much more removed this is going to get, and Liverpool could just literally run away. It's a shock that City have lost 4 in a row, right? I don't think Pep's ever lost 4 in a row before, right?
I think Bayern maybe once, I think, but I can't need to fact check that, but I'm not very sure.
You will just double check lah. But I mean, I know definitely he's never lost 4 in a row as City manager lah. So that's one thing, right? Moving on to the next game, which of course is Chelsea versus Arsenal. Final score was of course 1-1. I do think that the result was kind of fair because I don't think both teams were great and they weren't clinical also. I don't know.
I watched the game. The first 20-30 minutes, Chelsea got so many chances to score.
Yeah, dude.
The Malo Gusto header from the Neto's cross.
That one should have been 1-0 already, bro. That was like open header in the 6-yard box.
Yeah. And like they were saying, like, I saw the AFTV, right? They say, it's a Martinelli masterclass to put him off. It's like they will just find whatever reasons to praise their own players, that kind of thing. Yeah. But it's crazy lah. Like considering the fact that I think Chelsea had more shots in the game.
Yeah.
I think 17 if I'm not wrong.
I think Chelsea had 17. If I'm not mistaken, Arsenal had about 15.
Yeah, so like to be honest, the standout players for Chelsea was this Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
What a beast, bro. Yeah. And then you could tell like it's an instant upgrade from Raheem Sterling.
Yeah. No, Chelsea had 17, Arsenal had 13 shots on target.
Yeah.
Total.
See, and how do you have like 17 but only 3 on target or something?
But no, that's the thing. Both of them have only 3 on target each.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, just decided to not put their shooting boots on. After watching the game, right, I do feel that the Stamford Bridge pitch is too small.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea was trying very hard to spread Arsenal like to the wings, right?
Yeah.
But the pitch so small, bro. So like the defenders cover lesser ground to their men, you know. So easier for them to mark.
But it's funny though, because like when I was watching and I was looking at this, right, like all the chances that Chelsea had in this game all fell to defenders. And there's no attacker. Like the Fofana one inside the box, then the Gusto one, right? The Malo Gusto one, right? Palmer had one shot, long shot on target, right? But I don't know lah. Was he? Do you think he was quite silent, like Cole
because
Palmer?
He had a knock last week. I can tell like he not at like the 100%. I mean, against Man Utd, he also didn't play very well, you know.
No, but it's becoming a regular occurrence whenever is a bigger club or like a major match against a top 6 team. Right? He doesn't play well.
Yeah, but I think we can easily say the same for like Haaland, all these kind of players. I think because it's easier to mark one player if the team is not well rounded. It's like if you rely all on one player, then easier for the big teams to mark that guy.
Correct. But I think like even with that, right, that being said, moving back to the goal score, right, Martinelli, right, bro, Sanchez should have saved that.
Bro, yeah, Sanchez is he's an okay keeper, but these type of mistakes will cost you games, for sure.
Yeah, dude.
You could have easily saved that.
He should have saved that. It's like the gap was very small. If anything, right, just so nicely, right, that the gap between the post and Sanchez's hand was the ball.
As a keeper, if you get beaten in the far post, it's fine. But near you post. Cannot get beaten in the near post, yeah. When I saw the goal, I was like, you know.
No, and I do think that if let's say that goal hadn't gone in, right, I don't think Arsenal would have scored this game. Because they looked like really like they were struggling to score. Like given the fact that okay, maybe Havertz had the goal disallowed, right? And then what Arsenal's known for the defense, right? I mean, it was a moment of magic from Neto, which is fair. But they're still letting balls over the top to get into like crosses and everything, which is Chelsea were trying to exploit. So if it wasn't for a mistake like that, right, I think Arsenal could have lost it.
Or just they would have scored. Period. Yeah. And then it would have been up to Chelsea to win it if they were more clinical. Yeah.
Correct. And it wasn't like we said like it wasn't a great performance from either team because they were both wasteful but Saka was non-existent.
Again. Yeah. I think Odegaard did his best. Like he was coming up for injury and then he did like assist the
goal
Yeah. So like, that was a positive for them. And then like also you could tell Declan Rice also injured. Yeah, so Declan Rice and Saka, I think apparently they are like both question marks for England. Yep. So they might not go. Yeah, so there's too many games honestly.
Yeah, but do you agree with what I said last week or not? Like they need a striker. The experiment with Havertz.
Oh, bro, we know that we've been saying that since last season, yeah.
I've been saying for 3 years.
We've been saying that since since they bought Kai Havertz, right?
Yeah, no, like, even before, even before that, dude, like when they were challenging for the league title. Like 2 years ago, right?
The first time they fell short, right?
Yeah, we were like, you need a striker.
Correct. In that January window, I realized they should have gone and buy someone. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, even more reinforce the fact that you need a striker.
Because
if not, you just don't bother winning the league.
Because they are like I said this last week. I don't know whether you agree, right? It's like they are trying to do the goal scoring by committee, but this type of incidents is literally what happens when your committee is not scoring anymore.
Like your Trossard not scoring, your
Saka not scoring.
Yeah, your Saka is like 1 in 2 games, that kind of ratio, not consistently banging in numbers.
Correct.
And like the past few games, they've been relying on their defenders to score goals. Right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right.
So it's like you're not gonna expect Saliba or Gabriel to score like 15-20 goals a season, right?
Yeah, correct. You need one consistent like person to put it in the net.
Which I ask you, right? Ivan Toney.
Yeah, I think he would have been good. It's just that he's a bit demanding on the wages, so I don't think Arsenal would have given him.
Yeah, but I ask you this question, right? So let's say, for example, you move Ivan Toney, right? would you, as Arsenal right now, right, since Amorin has less Sporting, right, will you go after Gyökeres?
Right, I'm pretty sure you gotta pay a premium, bro. I think his stock go up probably like I think 40-50 million now.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you need a striker that badly, right, would they be willing to pay the premium? Should they pay the premium?
I think any team will be willing to pay for him now. I think like Barca will be looking at him because Lewandowski is like 37, right?
Correct.
So I'm guessing Barca, Arsenal, Man U. I'm not sure about Man U, okay. Maybe I think Arsenal will be a good fit for him.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to Man United.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. No, it depends. But we will not know. I also don't. Yeah. I don't think we should take like Sporting players.
Yeah.
You become a Ten Hag thing all over
again. Correct. Which Amorin said that he's not going to go after any Sporting player.
In January.
Yeah, in January.
Summer,
yeah. But he's also not going to do anything as well.
Yeah. So but funny thing, he was a Coventry City striker. You know?
I know. That's the part that I was like, huh? Oh, he's from Coventry. That's a bit ironic. Something's got to give you Arsenal. I think really like what is wrong is literally just they need a striker. The goals are drying up already.
Agreed, bro. Agreed.
The goals are drying up. So after that, I think like just before we close out, right? I think Maresca's done a good job with Chelsea, considering the fact they're now third, right? And he's been able to get this Chelsea team to be able to play far beyond their capabilities of what they actually are at the moment.
And considering the fact that how crappy Chelsea has been like the past few years, right?
Yeah.
I think like a draw against Arsenal
is a win.
You go to United, you don't lose. I think it's a good result.
It's a good win. Like they took what they should have taken from both games.
Yep. Just don't lose both.
Which is don't lose which I think is a fair result. So with that, Chelsea of course play against Arsenal. Final score was 1-1. Now both of them are tied. Chelsea's third, and they are 9 points behind leaders Liverpool. So moving on. Time to talk about our team. Man United closed out the Ruud Van Nistelrooy 4-game era with a 3-goal win against Leicester City. United win 4 games in a row since Ten Hag got sacked, with a total of, if I'm not mistaken, about 11 goals. Yeah, 11. So it's 5 against Leicester in the EFL Cup, 1 against Chelsea, 2 against PAOK, and then 3 against Leicester. So 11 goals are conceding 3. So conceding 3. So 11 goals in 4 games. I didn't expect this, considering the fact that United was so crap the whole season, right? And just to score more than 1 goal a game was a miracle. We have done that.
It's just further proof that these players choose their moments when they want to turn up, which is the most like irritating thing ever for a footballer.
Yeah,
like you cannot select when you want to play, when you want to show up, when you want to like turn off, that kind of thing.
And I do think that like yesterday the lineup between, I'll be honest, like the lineups that Ten Hag and Van Nistelrooy pick are roughly the same. Just probably maybe because like Garnacho doesn't play, Ahmad starts playing, right? Ahmad is literally the best Man United player now. I don't care what people say. He's the best. And it still irritates me to a point that like had Ten Hag stayed, I think this guy will not be at Man United anymore.
Yeah, he'll probably get fed up and leave. Right?
He'll probably get fed up and leave, right? But I would say that like with Ruud Van Nistelrooy, right, he made the changes that all of us have been dying for Ten Hag to make, but he doesn't do them, right? So like Rashford's playing horribly, Dalot's playing horribly. Immediately, like I think about just before the 60th minute, double change. Immediately both out.
58 minute, bro.
58 minute, double change both out. Johnny Evans comes in, Garnacho comes on. Immediately the game, you can see the immediate difference really. Then slightly later, they remove Casemiro, got taken out, then Eriksen comes on.
Yeah, those are fine because like Casemiro's legs, because he played like midweek also, right? You know.
Yeah.
Can't play too many games also. Yeah.
Which is like
manage them.
Which is like the substitutions that we want like them to make. We want him to make.
It's just logical. It's not I want to experiment this or experiment that. It's like logical for them to change, you know.
Yeah, because Dalot was having a poor game. Rashford was non-existent at all.
Bro, in the games that Van Nistelrooy took over, right?
Yeah.
I think all the games he subbed him off or subbed him on. Like he never played a full game under Van Nistelrooy. Yeah. That just speaks volumes, you know. Yeah. Which
basically it shows like, okay, he really does understand like what's needed and he sees the things to it and then he reacts accordingly. In this game, right, speaking of Leicester, right, Leicester conceded 8 against Man United in 2 games, which is a shock. But I don't know why, right? Like Leicester this game was like, they had 6 shots, 5 on target, right? But the 5 on target weren't really like anything threatening to Onana at all. It's like just straight at him. It's like,
we must be thankful it's not Vardy also, you know.
Yeah, dude, I agree lah. But it's funny though, like their biggest threat was in DD.
Yeah, and he could have easily scored because of somebody play him onside, right?
Yeah.
And who is that somebody? The Diego Dalot, right?
Yep. I will not mention his name.
I just want to say something that is like, do you realize the irony in this? No?
What?
Why is it when we sack a manager and the interim comes in, why is it always against Leicester? Right, the previous Ole Gunnar Solskjaer first game also Leicester, right? Yeah. It's like the universe making fun of us.
Hey, but I will say this like the Leicester manager, right? Like he's not a good manager at all. I don't think he's good.
Nottingham, right?
He was Nottingham. Then Nottingham were almost like getting relegated.
Yeah, I think they just prepared to go back down again, really. Leicester and I think Ipswich. But Ipswich did a good job.
Like I think Steve Cooper's a horrible manager. I don't think he's good.
I agree, bro. Plus, this Leicester team, you don't see a very strong. There's nothing strong about him. You get what I mean?
Yeah, not compared to the Leicester, the old Leicester.
It's not the old Leicester anymore. And like we took their defenders, Maguire and Evans, right? Yeah, and then I think the only strongest player is NDD now, lor.
Yeah,
and that number 7 guy that was skillful. The whole game he was destroying.
That's
pretty much it,
Fatau.
But yeah, that's honestly pretty much to it.
I will feel that somehow the past 4 games, right, we have been relatively lucky in a sense where the teams that we have played are not very, very like in form.
Yeah,
they're not
and
great.
I feel that these 4 games, it's clearly not to get Van Nistelrooy into the job. No. It's more of like salvaging what we can for Amorin.
Yeah.
It's like imagine we lose the Chelsea game and we lose this game against Leicester.
Yeah.
Then we confirm cannot touch like top 8 in the Premier League ever.
Correct.
This season, yeah. So now we are like 15, I think.
I think
15
it's
points,
more,
right? 15
yeah.
points, yeah. So it's
I think
like
it's
4 points only away from the top 6.
And I do think that like just to look at it overall, right? Like we are 13, yes, but from top 4 is 4 points only, which is not that far away. Honestly, it's still achievable. I think that it's more to do with the fact that like
just don't lose ground.
Don't lose ground is one thing, right? But give the players like some like a morale boost or something like that. Like they just need to like get up. But I'm just hoping that Amorim does well at the end of the day, right? Because I mean, you beat City 4-1 using Sporting, right? I don't think this Man United team is better than Sporting. They're not. I think the Sporting team is better. But I mean,
in terms of the playing as a team, right?
Yeah, in terms of playing as a team.
Players, yeah.
So I'm hoping that something will happen lah. I don't want to get too much into Man United first, right? Because I will reserve judgment after the first few games that he plays lah. So I think that's pretty much it I have for this game, because essentially, right, like Leicester weren't great. United did what they needed to do. United is like expectation for us is that you have to beat Leicester. Like simple as that.
So it's like, it doesn't matter if what Bruno score outside the box kind of goal. It's probably he probably scores it like 1 in 5, that kind of statistic.
Same with Garnacho.
Yeah. So like I mean it's nice goals, but don't get like there's nothing to be excited about.
That's true. That's true. So Man United beat Leicester 3-0. Basically puts them same point as Bournemouth with 0 goal difference. And we are essentially
net zero goal difference.
We're net 0, bro. We are 4 points off the place.
Yeah, so I feel that for us, right, just now is a good place. Just take it one game at a time.
Yeah, one game at a time.
Don't aim for what top spot or this. We
correct.
Take it a game at a time first.
But do you hear what Amorin said or not? He's like,
yes, I heard. He said he will go with the structure he is most comfortable with first, regardless of which players he have, because he cannot make judgment on them yet.
So basically, he's going back 3.
Back 3-4-3.
Yeah, so I don't
be surprised. Like players like Anthony start playing as wingbacks.
Yeah,
really,
no, I'm really not surprised. A lot of people are saying that Anthony might do it as a wingback, but I don't know. We shall see. We will reserve judgment for later. I think that one probably will happen because Amorin coming to United is quite a big deal now because it is Manchester United replacing the 6th manager since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. Now, moving on to our match of the week, which is of course Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspur. Again, it was literally about 2 weeks ago that Spurs beat Manchester City 2-1 to knock them out of the EFL Cup. I mean, given the fact that it wasn't like their strongest midfielder. I mean, you play McAfee and O'Reilly, right? The wings, Nunes, Ake. It was relatively, it's like a decent team. Like, I'll admit.
Bro, you could tell like City don't care about this cup. Right?
Yeah, they don't care about this cup. I think they're more focused on this, right? But the problem I see with this game, right, is that City are not playing well, right? But neither is Spurs.
Spurs is just being Spurs, lah.
Yeah.
You cannot like remove this from them.
I mean, what do you want to say? Because like Spurs lost again.
Yeah, to Ipswich, right?
Yeah.
When I saw the thing, I was like, Spurs is just being Spurs. It's like there's no justification or reason like why they are playing like that. It's just
Spurs being Spurs.
You know, you just know it's Spurs being Spurs.
It's like now our reaction has become like, oh, Spurs lost again. Okay. like you kind of don't really go like.
But at the same time, they are a good team that like when they beat when they beat United, we're like, okay, they are good, you know.
Yeah.
Like when they show up, it's really damn good lah. Like they can play, they can play as a team. But when they lose, it's like I think that's where the comedy comes in.
It's people like, okay, Spurs are higher than Man Utd, right? It's a point.
Yep.
It's 1 point difference. So it's like literally if Spurs lose to City, right, and Man Utd win their next game against Ipswich, right, United go above Spurs. Like
it's more of like staying in the thing.
Yeah.
Rather than what? Rather than trying to like aim for the title, you know. It's just capitalize when someone make a mistake, you know.
And the thing is that Spurs have a Champions League caliber team.
So you don't know. You really don't understand. Then apparently like the Postecoglou, he was saying that it's his fault. Now like okay, he's just like absorbing the media.
He's absorbing the media lah, but I don't know lah. Spurs are Spurs lah. But I mean, they're both in bad form. But I think that if let's say you're both in bad form, right, the worst form is definitely Spurs because I think Man City definitely still can be Spurs.
Yeah, and they will want to bounce back after 2 defeats lah, you know.
In the Premier League, right? 2 consecutive defeats in the Premier League.
Cannot lah. If you want to win the champion, if you want to be champions, right, I don't think you should be losing back to back.
Yeah, I agree. You lose back to back, right? But if I will say this lah, like there's no bigger headline like if Spurs beat Man City, right? Then City lose 3 in a row. That's a problem already.
Yeah, hat-trick.
That's a problem already. Yeah. So I think our expectations are pretty much the same. I don't think we should get too much into it because it's just both teams are not in good form. But I do think that at the end of the day, right, Spurs will still lose because City is just naturally a better team. So, bro, time for our predictions. I cannot remember the last time we did our predictions.
Same, bro. I'm lost in transition.
Okay, never mind. I think for the time being, right, like let's just get the momentum back. For this week, right, guys, I think we'll pause on the total me and Paul's prediction face off, right? So we just get Paul back.
Yeah.
We play the score first, then we get back into the momentum, right? So, bro, what's your score? What's your prediction?
City, right? Stadium? Or is it Spurs Stadium? I think it should be City Stadium.
Hold on. It is at Etihad.
Okay, I would say City win 3-1.
Okay. I will say City win 2-1.
Okay.
I think like they're not in such bad form to a point where like they will lose to Spurs.
Yep.
But I also think that they're in worse form at the point where like the goal scoring may not be a good thing. Even if Haaland scores, because Haaland can only do so much as a one person. He only scored 1 goal only in the past few games. So
yeah, but if you see the table, right, he's still third first.
Yeah, that's why.
That's like the beauty of like Erling Haaland. You know, it's like he will explode in like 3 games.
Yeah.
And then he will have a drop for like 3-4 games, right?
Then after he scored 3.
Then he will score like 1, then he will drop again, then he will explode with like 3 goals, you know.
Yeah,
I he has 12 goals now in 11 games.
Yeah.
That's insane, eh?
Yeah, but it's also because I think he had a game where he scored like a lot, right? But we were talking about his goals this year like super random.
Tap in.
No, bro, not a tap in. The one that he scored the goal, then he falling down.
Oh yeah.
Then the Champions League goal, the backwards.
Yes. But he got quite a few big misses this year, also, right?
Yeah, he did.
The Bournemouth one and everything.
All right, okay. So I think that's it. So Paul's prediction is of course a 3-1 win to Man City. My prediction is of course 2-1. So bro, before you close, you got anything else to add?
So nothing much to add. I think it's good. I just find that it's ridiculous that it's another international break. So yeah, if there's one thing that to remove the tight schedule, right, I would say remove the international
break, right?
Yes, like you can add more club games, no problem.
Yeah,
but you remove the international break.
You remove the international break, or you only break for internationals for qualifiers.
Or you implement like certain key international games, right? The rest is like under 23s play. That kind. Yeah, I think that's a good rule.
Okay. I will say that's one thing. So that is it for this week's episode of the Football Kaki. Alright, so that is it for this week's episode of the Football Kaki, brought to you by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, for those of you who are tuning in, we just want to say thank you, and we hope that you continue to watch our other shows here on the network, which of course are the Copy Bros every Monday. This week, of course, we have scandalous stories. I don't want to talk about scandalous because football has a lot of scandals. We also know one very thing that me and Paul used to call Mr. Scandal. So if you don't know what is that, please go and search it up from the history. From the history of football scandals. There's a lot. Like
London.
I think like if you really wanted to, we can talk about football scandals in like one episode.
I think this will be the top story.
Yeah, confirm one. Then of course, if you like game shows, we do of course have the SG Draft podcast every Friday. Last week was of course the anti moments draft. I wish you were on that draft too. You confirm got a lot of things to say.
So much to say, man. Like
you confirm
like
have a lot.
I feel the name of the draft should be like the ultimate Karen draft or something.
Maybe lah, but wow, dude, if like, that was the one draft you should have been on, I would say that one should have been it should have been your draft. That should have been your draft quite easily. Yeah. But it's fun to watch. Go of course and go ahead and watch the episode. And then of course with the SG Draft podcast, we do have an interactive portion where you can actually go and vote for your favorite teams every Friday when the episode releases. Voting begins on our Instagram stories at 12 p.m. and on a Friday, and of course closes at 12 p.m. on a Saturday. So with that, from me and Paul, we just want to say thank you. If you have not liked and subscribed to our channel, please do so. And if you have, continue to draw and spread the news about our channel to your friends and family so that we can gain more subscribers and of course put out better content for you. So from me and Paul, from everybody here at the Football Kaki, have a great week ahead. Thank you. And also just to remind everybody, because of the international break, we will not be releasing the episode next week. We'll be back after the international break, and of course we will see what's going to happen between Spurs and Man City. So from me and Paul, from everybody here, have a great week ahead. See you soon. Bye bye.